Have you ever wondered how some people start businesses from scratch and make millions of dollars? What exactly makes some people rich and other people poor? Have you ever wondered? Maybe you've noticed that the smartest people in the world usually never rise above the middle class, and the reason is that they don't know the required action to take to be a millionaire. Maybe you're interested in learning the practical strategies that can make you rich regardless of where you're starting from. Well, in this video, I'm going to spill a few of the secrets from the book From the Trashman to the Cashman, How Anyone Can Get Rich Starting from Anywhere by Myron Golden. He shares a lot of wealth creation principles in this book that I think a lot of people need to know, and that's why I decided to do this book review and present a brief summary of this book. Let's talk a little about Myron. Myron Golden grew up in a poor family and wasn't really good at anything. He got bad grades in school, he was super shy, and he caught polio as a small child in the hospital, so one of his legs grew significantly longer than the other one. So he couldn't really do anything athletic either. Basically, nobody ever voted for Myron as most likely to succeed. He didn't go to college, and as a young man he worked as a garbage man earning $6.35 an hour, but Myron was willing to work hard long enough to get good. In fact, he talks about a story where his wife was pregnant, and his electricity and water supply were cut off, and he was thinking like, hey, I have this beautiful wife. She has high hopes, but what the hell is going on here? I need to change my life. He trusted God, and he learned a few fundamental principles which have made him millions of dollars. This book is about the principles Myron learned that took him from an utterly hopeless situation to make more money than he had ever dreamed of. So if you want to make more money than you ever dreamed possible, this book is for you. Most people have never been taught the stuff given in the book, and you are certainly not going to learn from a school teacher who makes $40,000 a year. Still, if you're the kind of person who likes to make excuses and blame your circumstances for all your results in life, then this book is definitely not for you, and you should stop watching this video, because this video will only be pain and suffering for you. Now, if you're still with me, obviously I can't tell you everything in this book, you have to read it for yourself. But I'll tell you a few of my favorite parts. First, a concept that Myron calls the window of opportunity. Imagine a window that's divided into 4 panes. There are 4 ways to make money, and each pane of the window represents one of those ways. The 4 panes are having a job, that is HAJ, owning a job, that is OHA, having a system, that is HAS, and the 4th is sow money seeds, that is SMS. The most common way to make money, and also the worst, is to have a job. Most people in the world think that they need to have a job, and they never questioned it even if they hate their job. So that's one way to make money, is to have a job. Another way to make money is to own a job. This is what most people do when they start a business. So say you're a painter working for a painting company, and you quit your job and then start your own business as a painter working for yourself. Well, you're doing the same thing. You're selling your work for money, but in this case, instead of working for a company, you're just working for yourself as a freelancer. So you're still working the same job, right? That's why he calls it owning a job. When you own a job, you have a little more control over it, but you're still working the same job. It's not really much better than a regular job because you're still trading your time for money, but now you're giving up the security of having a regular paycheck and benefits. This is what a lot of do when they think of becoming rich, but in reality they become self-employed. As per Myron Golden, those are the 2 worst ways to make money. The following way to make money is much better, and that is to own a system. Owning a system means that you have a business that pays you even when you're not working. There are a whole bunch of different types of businesses that do some big and some small. Owning a system is far better than the first 2 options because how much money you make doesn't depend on the work that you do day to day. So that means you can work as much or as little as you want, and the amount of money that you can make is pretty much unlimited. The reason that so few people own a system is that most people are addicted to getting a paycheck, and when you're building a system you don't get paid anything. You have to work for no pay for a while in order to set up the system, and most people just don't have that kind of patience. The last way to make money is to sow money seeds, and that means that you invest your money in things that will create more money. Well, that could be stocks or bonds or real estate or oil wells or just something that you invest your money and it gives you more money in return. So that's just a quick summary. If you want the detailed version of the course, get the book. The link is given in the description. Next, I'm going to talk about how to build your financial house. There are 3 kinds of financial houses: the poor financial house, the middle class financial house, and the rich financial house. You can live in whichever house you want to. Each house has 4 windows: an income window, wealth-reducing liabilities window, an income-producing assets window, and an outgo window. If you have a job, the money that you make from your job comes in through the income window. From there you get to decide where you put it. You can put it in the wealth-reducing liabilities window. You can put it in the income-producing assets window, or you can put it in the outgo window. For poor people, if you live in a poor financial house, then all of the money that comes in through your income window goes right back out again through the outgo window. That means they spend all of the money that they get from their job on bills, food, and entertainment. They never have any money left over because all of the money that they get goes straight through the outgo window. Now the middle class is a little bit more complicated. They get a little bit more money coming in from their middle class jobs into the income window. Then they put some of it out of the outgo window for bills and entertainment, and the rest of it they put into the wealth-reducing liabilities window. So they buy boats, cars, college degrees, and all the stuff that they need to keep up with the Joneses, and that goes into their wealth-reducing liabilities window, and that usually is financed with debt. So they have to pay the interest on the debt, which goes into the outgo window, and they have to pay for maintenance on some of that stuff. So all of the wealth-reducing liabilities that they are accumulating for themselves are increasing the amount of money that they have to put back through the outgo window. So at the end of the day, they're kind of putting themselves in the same situation as the poor, because all of the money that they get is servicing the debt on the stuff that they didn't need, as well as their basic bills and entertainment. Now let's look at the financial house of the rich. The rich, at least when they're starting out, put most of their income that comes in through the income window into the income-producing assets window, whose assets could be stocks or bonds or real estate, or could be investing in their own knowledge by buying books like this one or buying online courses, or it could be a capital investment into new businesses they're starting. Of course, they still have to send out some of their money to the outgo window to pay for their bills, and they still pay for wealth-reducing liabilities like boats, cars, and similar kinds of things, but the difference is that they put most of the money into things that will make them money in return. After a while, all the money that they've put into the income-producing assets window starts coming back. It starts making money and coming back into the income window. Their assets make money for them, and then they put that money into buying still more assets. So their money just expands infinitely. So if you want to be rich, even if you're poor or middle class, and you want to build your financial house the same way the rich do, then you have to give up buying new cars and buying some fancy dinners, and that's the way to do it. Another concept I found compelling was that it's better to be a VM than a VP. You know, most people think the way to success is to work really hard at your job and climb the corporate ladder and get promoted, and then if you make the VP position, then you're doing pretty. It is much better and much easier to become a VM, which Myron calls a virtual millionaire. If you play the corporate game long enough, you can become a millionaire. Actually, a lot of upper middle class people become millionaires eventually. For example, if you get a job that pays $100,000 a year and you save 25% of that for 40 years, you will have saved $1 million plus a little extra for compound interest. So what do you do with that money? Well, if you invest $1 million at, let's say, 6% interest per year, that means that you're making $60,000 per year from your investment. You probably don't want to spend the original $1 million, because that means that you're cutting into your income. But basically, having $1 million in the bank means that you get to earn $60,000 per year without working. Though being a millionaire if you're not working means that you get to live a $60,000 per year lifestyle, but there are much easier, much faster ways to live that same millionaire lifestyle without having to slave away at that miserable corporate job for 40 years. The best way is to own a business system. That means you can have a website, or you could have an e-commerce store, or you can have an MLM business, or you could have an affiliate marketing business. If you can create a system that brings in $60,000 per year of passive income, then you have created the same lifestyle for yourself as somebody who slaved away for 40 years at a desk job in order to make $1 million. You only have to make $5,000 per month in income to be living the same lifestyle as a millionaire. That's why it's better to be a VM than a VP. So that's just a small taste of the information that you learn in this book. I definitely recommend that you buy the book. I'll put a link in the description.